PlayStation 4 is the undoubted, undisputed, and unflinching king of this generation. It has not only triumphed over its competition but decimated it, and did so in style. It delivered one critical blow after another and made the competition look weak and incapable in doing so. After trailing behind Xbox 360 for around 7 years, this massive success from Sony did not come easy, and nor did it come without risks. And that's what made this generation even more special for Sony and set a precedent for creative arts and science to follow in times to come. In today's video, let's discuss about how Sony took risks and won big this generation. The PlayStation 3 lagged behind the Xbox 360 for a long time. A shaky launch, lack of exclusive games, and an extremely difficult console to make games on made the PS3 one of the most powerful yet unattractive piece of consumer hardware for both developers and consumers alike. Though it did pick up pace in the later years of its life cycle and finally ended neck and neck with the Xbox 360 sales, it was nowhere close to the resounding victories of the PS2 era. Now that we are at the very end of the PS4 life cycle, we can see what a resounding return to form it has been for Sony. The PS4 has sold around 106 million units worldwide until now, and the Xbox One is not even close to half of that. They have been the undisputed kings of this generation. But what brought them this massive victory and an entry into the Hall of Fame of consoles comes down to one single business philosophy of Sony this generation: the ability and willingness to take risks with its games. Sony has some of the most talented first-party studios under their belt. The likes of Naughty Dog, Santa Monica Studios, Sucker Punch has proved time and again that they are the best in the business. But talent alone cannot make a great creative product in today's corporate business-oriented capitalistic scenario. The developers at Ubisoft, Activision, or say Bungie are equally talented as well. Look how Bungie almost revolutionized the first-person shooter genre on consoles with the Halo series. But where Sony stands out among these companies is the willingness to take risks and give its studios and developers the creative freedom that they need from them. Let's take the most recent example, shall we? Ghost of Tsushima, a completely new IP and a new franchise, has sold more than 3.5 million copies in the first 3 days alone. Sucker Punch, the developers of Ghost of Tsushima, are the same guys who made the Infamous series for the PS3 and the PS4. Infamous was a well-established franchise for Sony, and they could have easily continued with this franchise. That would obviously have been the easier and safer route to take, especially now when AAA games takes millions of dollars to make and produce. But they didn't. Sony respected the idea, the vision of the developers and the studios to go with a new IP, to implement new gameplay ideas and storytelling capacities, and they supported these studios to its core, and the result is there for us to see. They have done this time and again now, and they have almost become masters of the game. Look at The Last of Us. Coming off the back of Uncharted 3, Naughty Dog was given the go-ahead for a game that was completely different from the light-hearted action-adventure story of Nathan Drake to the dark, broody, and mature story of Joel and Ellie in a desperate post-apocalyptic United States, and it became one of the best games ever made. Horizon Zero Dawn is another example where taking creative risk and providing full support for it paid full dividends for Sony. Guerrilla Games' previous titles were simple Call of Duty-like first-person shooters, the Killzone series. To go from a first-person military shooter to an open-world action-adventure RPG with branching narratives and dialogue choices has to be one of the most radical transformations a studio has made in recent gaming history. And look at the quality of the game we got. Horizon Zero Dawn is arguably one of the best games of this generation and sold millions of copies till date. Maybe they could have made another Killzone FPS game and sold a decent amount of copies, but it could never have garnered them the level of critical reception they got from Horizon Zero Dawn. Even for well-established franchises, they are not afraid to completely rewrite the fundamentals and start from scratch. God of War was released on PS4 in 2018, and it instantly resonated with millions of critics and fans alike and became widely regarded as one of the best games ever made. God of War was a franchise that was considered Sony's cash cow, and tinkering with that winning formula could have spelled doom for the franchise as well as for Sony. But they took that chance. They completely overhauled the fundamentals of the franchise and gave us a modern masterclass. They could have easily rested on their laurels with the previous success of the franchise and gave a game with only incremental updates like the Assassin's Creeds, the FIFAs or the Call of Duties. But no, they didn't, and that's what makes them special. They had the vision to challenge the status quo and came up winning on the other side. The Ubisofts or the Activisions doesn't have that courage or attitude to make something different each time they go out to make a game, and that is the reason they have stayed in the realm of mediocrity. While majority of these new first-party franchises and titles has been resounding success for the PlayStation, it is not that they have not tasted failure. Games such as The Order 1886 and Days Gone, which despite having very high production values and being bold new franchises, did not go well with the fans and critics alike. But these failures has not stopped Sony from experimenting, from giving their studios the time, the resources and the money they need to make these phenomenal experiences for their 100 million plus customers. Microsoft has failed miserably in this department, and sadly, this trend is more likely to continue in the foreseeable future. Why don't we get the mesmerizing sensation while watching any other game reveals like we do for Sony games? Why Halo Infinite got such a timid response and backlash from the gaming community? Was it only for the graphics? I don't really think so. The graphics was a big part, yes, but the Halo franchise is almost 20 years old now. That's a lifetime. People have grown up. Teenagers who played the first Halo with excitement in their eyes has now grown up to be fathers. But what really has changed in the franchise in terms of gameplay? It's the same old Halo that we have played 6 times before. It's the same shooting mechanics, the same cartoony enemies and their motivations. Where is the change? Where is the innovation? Where is the risk that we associate with Sony first-party developers? Where is that new factor that we can truly look forward to? There is none, and that's where other developers have failed time and again, and Sony continues to master gracefully for generations. Sony PlayStation has proved on a consistent basis that taking risks is the only way to guarantee success in the long run. And with PlayStation 5 on the horizon, I hope and pray Sony continues its winning formula and deliver us one memorable experience after another. So guys, that were my thoughts on why Sony has been so successful this generation and will probably continue to be so. If you have found this video interesting, do leave a like on this video, as that goes a long way in helping the channel out, and do subscribe for more videos relating to graphics comparisons, discussions and PC benchmarks. Take care, and I will catch you on the next one.